Welcome everyone. Here in the last class we were discussing about the process of reproduction, how reproduction takes place in living organisms. We have gone through a summary of that. Little detail we'll be studying here in this class. What we said is living organisms showed, like here in this living organisms we have, in some organisms we have male organisms different, female organisms different, that is one male and one female organism is there. There are certain organisms in which there is no differentiation between male and female, like algae. There's just algae, there is no male algae and the female algae. And here in case of fungi, it isn't male fungi, female fungi, but this is the case which we see in lower organisms. Their body structure is not that complicated. But in case of higher organisms, like human beings, animals, like in plants, here their male organisms are different from female organisms. Male organisms are different from female organisms. Here in this, we have already studied this. In this, if a flower shows both the reproductive organs, if a flower has both the reproductive organs, then it is said to be a bisexual. That is, in a single flower itself, both the reproductive organs are present. That is bisexual. And there are few flowers in which we see only one reproductive organ. That is, either male stamen will be present or pistil will be present. So those are unisexual. But in this we have already seen what do we call, in the male plant and the female, that is male and female flower will be on the same flower but different. That is, male and female will be on the same plant but with different, here I say, if this is the plant, here on this plant, here this is the flower in which we have stamen and this is the flower in which we have pistil. On the same flower, if we find both this male flowers as well as female flowers in, that is male and female reproductive organs in different flower, or if at all, it can be also like this. On the same plant, we can have the stamen as well as this pistil in the same flower. In both these cases, we call these plants as monoecious. We call these plants as monoecious. We call the organisms as monoecious. Similarly, in case of animals, in earthworm, you just take an example of an earthworm. We don't have a male and female earthworm different. Male earthworm is separate and female earthworm is separate. It is not like that. Here in one earthworm itself, we find both the reproductive organs, male reproductive organs as well as female reproductive organs. So such animals where there is no different sexes, where we find both the reproductive organisms, both the reproductive organs in the same that is in one organism, then such animals are said to be hermaphrodites. Hermaphrodite. If it is in case of plants, then we call it as monoecious. In plants, we call them as monoecious. That is, on the same plant, we find both the reproductive organs, whether it can be in the same flower or male and female different flower, but on the same plant. Then they are called as monoecious. Same thing which we see in animals, that is in earthworm, both the reproductive organs are present in the one earthworm itself. Male and female reproductive organs. So earthworm, such organisms like earthworm, they are called as hermaphrodites. Whereas here in case, if this is the plant, we find only male flowers, we find only staminate flowers. And here this different. Here on this now we find only pistillate flowers. only pistillate flowers are present. So this is different plant, this is different plant. In this plant only female flowers are present. In this plant only male flowers are present. So that means male plant is different, female plant is different. Male plant is different, female plant is different. Two different plants are there. Okay. For example, which we see in papaya, male plant is different, female plant is different. On the male plant only male flowers will be present, and on the female plant only female flowers will be present. Then they are called as dioecious. Those plants are called as dioecious. So in the similar manner, animals also shows different sexes. Male will be different and female will be different. So such phenomenon in which male animals and female animals are different. Here in plants, those plants are called as dioecious plants, and in animals it is called as sexual dimorphism. It is called as sexual dimorphism. That is, di means two, morph is form. Two forms. One is the male form and another is the female form. Two sexual forms. That is, male is different, female is different. In animals it is called as sexual dimorphism. And if the plant shows like this, that is, male plant is totally different, female plant is totally different, then that plant is said to be dioecious. So now here we said that living organisms, if they reproduce by sexual method, then gamete formation takes place. The first thing which is done is during sexual reproduction is gamete formation takes place, and the process by which gamete formation takes place is called as gametogenesis. Gametogenesis is the process in which, or that is, for example, this is the male gamete and this is male and female are different. In the male organisms, the male reproductive organs are testis. Female reproductive organs are ovary. This testis and ovary, they produce gametes. Gametes are nothing but special cells. I have repeated this many times. Gametes are nothing but the special cells which are produced by the reproductive organ. So here male gametes, that is male reproductive organ produces gamete, female reproductive organ also produces gamete. So that male gamete is called as sperm and the female gamete is called as ova. In case of animals, the male gamete is called as the sperm and the female gamete is called as the ova. This process of gamete formation, that process is called as gametogenesis. So gametogenesis is the process by which gamete formation takes place. In animals, if male, or that is the production of male gamete, the process of production of male gamete is termed as spermatogenesis. In higher animals, the formation of male gamete, that is gametogenesis is nothing but formation of gametes. So when male organisms form male gamete, then that process is called as spermatogenesis, and then the female organisms produces female gamete, then that process is called as oogenesis. This production of ova, by this whole process which helps in the formation of this ova, which is responsible for the formation of ova, this process is called as oogenesis. Here this formation of the sperm, that is the male gamete, that process is called as spermatogenesis. Whereas this was in animals, whereas in plants, what happens? Here plants also we have male reproductive organs and female reproductive organs. Okay, male reproductive organ, that is here in this plants now, pollen grain produces male gamete. In plants, pollen grain produces male gamete. Who produces male gamete? Like here in animals and human beings, testis is the male reproductive organ. Here also stamen is the male reproductive organ, and that is on the stamen. If we see this is the stamen. It consists of two structures, that is tube-like filament and a head-like structure which is called as anther, and this together is called as stamen. This together is called as stamen. Here on the stamen, that is on the head, we find small dust-like structures, very small, very light, very delicate dust-like structures will be present. Those structures are called as pollen grains. Those structures are called as pollen grains. The stamen is the male reproductive organ. Each stamen consists of two parts. One is tube-like structure which is filament, and another is head-like structure which is anther. And on the anther, dusty powdery substance will be there. So that is nothing but pollen grains. That is nothing but pollen grains. These pollen grains, like here in this testis produce gametes, that is sperms. Here these pollen grains will produce male gamete. These pollen grains will produce male gamete, and that process by which pollen grains produces male gamete, that process is called as microsporogenesis. That process is called as microsporogenesis, or we can even call it as microgametogenesis. Microsporogenesis or microgametogenesis. Here, now this is the male, that is stamen on the male reproductive organ, that is stamen. On the stamen we find pollen grains. Pollen grains produce male gametes by the process called as microsporogenesis. Similarly, the female also produces that is female reproductive organ also produces female gamete, that is ovule inside the ovary. If we see the structure, here this is the stigma, this is the style, and this will be the ovary. This is the ovary. Inside this ovary, to this cushion-like structure, ovule will be present. Ovule will be present. And inside that ovule, a structure will be present which is called as embryo sac. Inside the ovule, a structure will be there which is called as embryo sac. How this was formed, we'll see later. But inside this ovule, structure will be present which is called as embryo sac. Inside the embryo sac, egg will be produced. Inside the embryo sac, egg will be produced. This egg is nothing but it is the female gamete. This egg is nothing but it is the female gamete. So here in ovule, egg is produced. Inside the ovule only embryo sac is present. So inside the embryo sac, egg is produced. So egg, that is inside the ovule, where inside the female reproductive organ, ovule will be present. Inside the ovule, egg is produced. This egg is the female gamete. This egg is the female gamete. Egg is the female gamete. So here the process by which this ovule produces this egg inside the embryo sac, that process is called as megasporogenesis. That process is called as megasporogenesis, or even we can call it as megagametogenesis. Megasporogenesis or megagametogenesis. If male gametes are formed, then that process is called as microsporogenesis. If female gamete is formed, then that process is called as megasporogenesis. Sporogenesis here, but two different words. For male gametes, microsporogenesis, and for female gamete, it is megasporogenesis. So the process by which male gamete is formed is microsporogenesis. The process by which egg is formed, that is female gamete is formed, then that process is called as megasporogenesis. This is the first step for reproduction. This is the first step for sexual reproduction in higher organisms, that is gamete formation, which is nothing but gametogenesis. Gametogenesis is nothing but process by which gamete formation take place. So the first step in the sexual reproduction is gametogenesis, which is nothing but formation of gametes, which is nothing but formation of gametes. Now after the gametes are formed, male gametes are formed, female gametes are formed. Now these gametes are ready. These gametes need to fuse, because for sexual reproduction, there should be fusion of male and female gametes. For sexual reproduction, fusion of male and female gametes should take place. So for fusion of those male and, here gametes are ready. They are ready to be fused. Here male gamete has been formed, here female gamete has been formed. But they are ready to fuse. For fusion, here this male gamete should travel to female gamete. Male gamete should travel to female gamete. This female gamete is non-motile. This female gamete is non-motile, whereas male gamete is motile. So that male, here in order for this male gamete and female gamete to fuse, male gamete should travel to female gamete. Male gamete should travel to female gamete. So the second process in sexual reproduction is gamete transfer, that is transfer of gamete. Which gamete? Transfer of male gamete to female gamete. First step is production of gametes. First step is production of gamete, which is called as gametogenesis. Now the gametes are fully formed. The male gamete should travel to the female gamete, then only fusion will take place. For the fusion to take place, male gametes and female gametes should be together. So here male gamete is formed on the pollen, that is anther. Female gamete is here inside this ovule. So if I see, if it is a bisexual flower, this is the stamen. This is the stamen. Okay, on the stamen pollen grains are present. So these pollen grains have produced the male gamete. So this male gamete had to move, had to transfer from here in this to this place, the stigma. This is the stigma, this is the style, and this is the ovary. This male gamete, which is produced by these pollen grain, should travel to the stigma, and from stigma it moves to the style, moves through style and enter into the ovary. Then from ovary it enters into ovule, and from ovule it enters into embryo sac where egg is present. So the male gamete has to transfer from here till this egg. So this transfer of male gamete from anthers to stigma, because to reach this egg, it should first reach the stigma. It should first reach the stigma, and from this, the pollen grain here, from here it should transfer to here. The pollen grain from the anthers should transfer to stigma. This process is called as gamete transfer. This process is called as gamete transfer. So the second step in sexual reproduction is gamete transfer. Okay. In lower organisms such as bryophytes and algae, in bryophytes now we have this male gametes are motile and female gametes are non-motile. Male gametes are motile and female gametes are non-motile. So male gametes should move towards the female gamete. Male gamete should go to female gamete. So for this transfer of male gamete to the female gamete, these organisms require water. These organisms require water because male gamete swims through water and reaches the female gamete. In lower organisms, male gamete swims in water and reaches the female gamete. So here by swimming in water, so for gamete transfer in bryophytes, what they require is water. What they require is water. Water helps the transfer of male gamete to female gamete. Here in algae, the same case, water is required for the that is gamete transfer. Whereas in higher plants, these are the lower plants. Just this thallophyte, that is body structure is not fully developed here. Here in higher plants, body structure is fully developed, all the organs are formed. So here in higher plants, this gamete will transfer through a process called as pollination. In higher plants, the gamete will transfer from male. The gametes will transfer from this anthers to stigma. So that process is called as pollination. So in higher organisms, gamete transfer takes place through pollination. So what is pollination? Pollination is nothing but transfer of this pollen grains from anthers to stigma. Transfer of this pollen grain. Where are these pollen grain? On anthers. From this anther, the pollen grain should transfer to the stigma. So this process of transfer of pollen grain from anther to stigma, that process is called as pollination. What is pollination? Transfer of pollen grains from anther to stigma. Anthers to stigma, that is called as pollination. So here in higher organisms, that is in higher plants, gamete transfer takes place through pollination. Whereas in higher animals, it is in the case of plants, gamete transfer takes place through pollination. In higher animals, how this transfer takes place? Female gamete is non-motile. In animals also, female gamete, that is egg, is non-motile. Male gamete, the sperm, is motile. The male gamete will be transferred to female gamete. Here by the process of copulation, the male gamete, that is sperm in higher organisms, that male gamete, that is sperm, will transfer to the female gamete, that is egg. How it is? By the process of copulation. Through the process of copulation, male organisms deposit sperms in bodies of female organisms. Through copulation process, male organisms deposit sperms inside the bodies of the female organisms. So here in lower plants, gamete transfer takes place through water. Water acts as the medium for the transfer of male gamete to the female gamete. Whereas in higher plants, pollination is the process. Pollination is nothing but transfer of pollen grain from anther to stigma. So by this the gamete, that is gamete, male gamete is transferred to the female gamete. That is nothing but pollination. In higher animals, through process of copulation, where male organisms deposits the egg inside the bodies of the female organisms. So here that process is nothing but copulation process. So this is the second step for, that is sexual reproduction. This is the second step for sexual reproduction. First step is gametogenesis and the second step is gamete transfer. The second step is gamete transfer. after the gamete is transferred from male to the female. So here, from here the pollen grain enters into the style, here comes and it enters into this ovary, from ovary to ovule to this egg. Now male gamete has reached the egg. The male gamete has reached the egg. Now both of them are close to each other. Male and female gametes are close to each other. Now as they are close to each other, now follows the process of fusion of male and female gametes. So next process, the third step will be the fertilization. The third step in sexual reproduction will be fertilization, which we'll see in the next class.